Hello, how are you? Let me hope that you are doing so great. Welcome to our channel, which is called Napolo Philos TV. As usual, I'm teacher Napoleon, where today we are going to focus on different causes of American Revolution. Different causes of American Revolution. So, before moving to the causes of American Revolution, let's begin with the meaning of American Revolution. American Revolution was a political upheaval that took place in America between 1765 up to 1783. Here, the 13 American colonies rejected the British monarchy and dictatorship. They overthrew the authorities of Great Britain and founded the United States of America. Now let's begin with causes of American Revolution. The rise and growth of nationalism among the Americans and the need for independence. Here, this was promoted by nationalists such as Samuel Adams, George Washington, and Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Jefferson. Those strong nationalists raised their opinions in order to get the independence of America. This led to the America came into the war of independence. And remember, when we say American Revolution, is also known as a war of independence. Second, the effect of Anglo-French War. This was a war between England and French. During this war, France was fighting with Britain over profitable colony of Canada. The war ended with the defeat of France by Britain and taking over Canada. The effect of this war was that it weakened or declined Britain financially. This encouraged Americans to revolt for Britain. The third, the character of King George III of England. He came to power only in 1760. Here, unlike the former kings, he wanted to bring American colonies closer control. In order to achieve this, he introduced oppressive laws or harsh rules. Therefore, this led to Americans to revolt for fighting their independence. You know the picture of King George III of Britain. You can look very well. Yeah. This is a picture of King George III. King George III. Yeah, thank you. Fourth, the oppressive rule of the British government. British leaders were harsh to the Americans, and they didn't allow freedom of speech, press, and worship. However, this also led to Americans to fight British government because there was no freedom of worship and freedom of speech or to express their opinions. Boston massacres of 1770. After the Townshend Acts, the Americans started shooting and throwing snow and ice to the English troops. The troops responded by firing and killing them at Boston. This is what came to be known as Boston massacres. Therefore, this drove Americans into a war of independence. Poor economic policy of the British. The Americans were not allowed to set up industries and factories in America. This was intended to force them continue buying expensive British manufactured goods or products. This was considered as a move to subject them in endless poverty. The Boston Tea Party in 1773. This is another cause of American Revolution. This was when the Americans dropped the boxes of tea from Britain into water at Port Boston during the night. This made the British government furious. The government took a decision to close Boston Harbor. It is also punished the Americans to pay back the tea. This led American Revolution. Trader monopoly by the British in America. Trader was exclusively done by British. All European goods imported to the colonies had to pass through England for taxation. The British benefited while American did not. On the top of that, imports were expensive compared to export. The unfair taxation system. In North America, British raised the taxes in order to meet her debt expenses and to solve financial problems at home. This led Americans to revolt in order to fight these problems of unfair taxation system. Because here, both indirect and direct tax introduced it. The role of political philosophers. Philosophers were intellectuals and great thinkers great thinkers who exposed the wrong of British government to the Americans. Philosophers such as Thomas Paine and Patrick Henry inspired and awakened the Americans to fight for their independence. They never used they used newspapers such as New York Gazette, American Mercury, and the Boston Newsletter. Foreign support. Here, Americans got foreign support from other countries such as France, Germany, and Spain. These countries gave Americans military, moral, and financial support. This increased determination of Americans to fight for their independence. Religious intolerance. There were religious differences between the Americans and the British. Here, Americans had many religions which were different from the British Anglicans. Here, the British forced the Americans to adopt their religions against their will. The Protestant religions practiced by the Americans include Lutherans, Puritans, and Presbyterians. Americans strongly opposed it, therefore leading to the revolution. So, our followers, this is the end of our session. Let me tell you that very soon, we are going to meet in a next session where we are going to talk about on different effects or impact resulting from this war or in this American independence or American War of Independence. Thank you very much to follow this course and enjoy the course. Have you nice moment.